6:30 by Wallace Clock. If you please stand for the prayer. We'll have Julie Hudson lead us in the prayer and remain standing for the pledge, which will be led by Jeff Litton.
As last resort, I'm praying, okay? Please bow your heads. God, we thank you so much. We are so blessed to live in America. We're blessed to live in the state of Indiana, where we can enjoy beautiful spring weather and just this lifestyle that we live in. We are so appreciative of it. And we hope that tonight that you are with us as we listen and we make sound decisions and we do the best that we feel when we're making decisions that are right according to how we think. And we just ask that you be with us, take everyone home safely. It's in your name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Please join with me in honoring our country. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I turned
Thank
all the
you.
way in a circle.
I want to welcome everybody to the April 28th meeting. And the first thing we have on the agenda is approval of the minutes. I'm going to do these two separate minutes on March 13th on the special meeting. I'm sure everybody's read.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the special meeting held on March 13th of 26.
I got a first from Amy.
Second.
Got a second from Dustin. Any questions on this one? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The second one is March 24th on the regular meeting.
Move to approve the March 24th regular meeting minutes as presented.
Dustin made the first on that one.
I'll second.
Larry made the second on that one. Any questions on this? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, those are passed, Martha.
Thank you.
And then Amy Voorhees. Let's do the election update.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Elections are going slow. Same amount of work in the office, whether we have a whole lot of people or not, so it's still busy in the office. But so far, we have received 406,
Amy,
six.
is your
yes.
mic on?
No, it's not.
You're the one that's not lit up. There's a button there on the bottom. There we go. Now we got her. Thank you.
Election report. So far, we have had 643 votes. That includes absentee mail-in, walk-ins, travel board, and 1 VPD that's been returned to us. So yes, very slow. Want to remind people that we have early voting through Friday, 8 to 4. Saturday, we're open at the voter registration office and at the Mitchell Community Center, 8:30 to 3:30. And then Monday, you have from 8 to 12 to vote early. After that, we'll close down, and then Election Day will be Tuesday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So we do have all of the workers that we need. Our machines are all ready for Election Day. Looking forward to a smooth day. Does anyone have any questions?
Andy, will you have the front and the back of the courthouse open or just the front?
It will only be the south side of the courthouse will be open, and that is due to the elevator access. Yep. 7 locations, same as every other year, last few years. The other thing I was here to talk about was policy change. That was due to how we pay the election workers. We're still ironing out a few details with the State Board of Accounts, so I will not bring that before you at this time. Once we do that, then I will come in and ask. So right now they're having to watch all the videos and as if they were a new hire to the county, and they're not. So we're trying to work that out.
Because I know you and I talked about that. That was on the part-time side of that, right? Was that?
Yes, it's just the people who work over there
Yeah.
during those 30 days of elections.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
Okay.
need, but it didn't work out quite like we discussed either, so we'll keep working on it and get it resolved at some point.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And there's one coming up, the next one, but I want to read something because this is going to affect a couple, three things. Penny, you're up next, but hold just a second. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this off the salary ordinance. This deals with hiring and the process on that hiring and how this actually works. And this is on the salary ordinance. It's public record. If anybody wants a copy of it, they're more than welcome to get with Martha or whatever. But the second one that I'm going to read on this one, and like I say, this is public record, so anybody's capable of just getting a copy of it. If any position becomes vacant, then the elected official or the department head shall inform the commissioners and the county councils the position can be reevaluated to determine whether the position should be filled, and if so, what salary should be assigned to that position. The auditor's office shall not process any new employee pay without council approval. This is I know there's been some issues brought up on this more times than one. But this is the 2026 salary ordinance. So if anybody wants a copy of it, you're more than welcome to it. And that, I know there was some talk on this, that, and the other, but I think, Ted, and you and I talked about this, and Martha. But that is actually, and then there's a paper that's turned into the auditor's office, correct?
Yes, we have the new hire information.
New hire information, which is really short. It's not a very big page, the whole 9 yards. And the reason for that is, that's how, when you fill that out, any department head fills that out, that's how it gets to us. That's how it comes to us, in our packets, in our folders, and that way we are all on the same page. And I think it works pretty well. I don't know that anybody's got a problem with that setup. But I just wanted to get that out there because I know there's been some confusion in a couple different places. But like I say, that's directly from the 2026 salary ordinance. Okay, Penny, you're up. Good evening. How's Penny?
I'm okay.
Long day?
Yes, it was a long day. Our office hasn't been slow. But that's why I'm here, because my first deputy got offered her old job back. With a raise and much better benefits and cheaper prescriptions, and so she went back. So I have to fill my first deputy position. But also, I worked a person short with my seasonal employees last fall, and we're needing one, especially being 2 people out right now, because I still have to do some interviewing, after this for my first deputy, which I've got a girl part-time that I know has notified me that she would like to work part-time if there was somewhere open. And so I told her I had to go to the meeting, and then I'd let her know. But, so that's what I'm here for. It's just my seasonal, which the line's already in my budget every year, just a certain amount of money, and once it's gone, it's gone. And we use it during the spring and the fall. And then, of course, my first deputy, she does most of the bookkeeping, accounting, cash book, and the other stuff, receipts, quietuses, waits on customers, answers the phone. So I need to fill that position. That's all
Okay. First deputy is by statute.
Yes.
First deputy is also by statute. The second one that you're talking about will be the part-time,
Yeah, it's a seasonal part-time. It's always
Seasonal
been called
part-time.
seasonal part-time.
and that's just one?
Yes. Yeah, because I just have a certain budget. I mean, I just have my line. So we usually would have about 4 of them. And right now, I've got 3, but one's kind of hit and miss
Okay.
because of some health issues.
Anybody got any questions for Penny? Okay, I'll entertain a motion on this one. This is be for her first deputy and the part-time.
Motion to approve both positions.
Okay, I got a motion from Dustin on both positions. Janie seconds. Any further questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
Thank you.
passed. Thank you, Penny. Okay. Jeff McKnight. I guess I ought to rephrase that. Commissioner McKnight.
Afternoon, folks. We've had a vacancy in the Veteran Service Offices for the part-time individual. He retired on March 31st, so we need to ask to replace that position. so we can advertise and get started on that process.
And that's on the part-time,
On
correct?
the part-time,
Okay,
yes.
and that's already in the budget
Mhm.
and the whole 9 yards?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody got any questions for Commissioner McKnight?
How many days a week is that?
Generally 2 is what he works. Sometimes more if Brad takes days off, but generally 2 days. But there is money in the budget for that.
Any further questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion on this part-time position.
I'll make a motion, we approve.
Okay, Larry made it first,
Second.
Julie made a second. Okay, any further questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that takes care of that one. And
And
you have one
also,
more.
while I'm here, we've got a notice of Brad's impending retirement on July the 10th, and it is an appointed position, so are going to try to go ahead and accept some applications and prepare for his departure, but he won't start anybody until after Brad has actually gone. We just want to start the search for who we want to put in that position.
And that is a commissioner appointment.
Yes, that's correct.
That's commissioner appointment? Okay. And I'm assuming the pay will stay the same on that, correct?
That's the plan at this point, yes. If it's something-
34,650, Martha? 34,650. 34,650.
Mhm.
Okay. Any questions for Commissioner McKnight? Okay, we'll entertain a motion for that.
Move to approve.
Dustin made it first,
Second.
Phil made it second. Any further questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Oh,
All right. Thank you, folks. Have a
thank
good
you.
evening.
Thank you.
Okay. Brian Souders, Highway. Good evening.
I have 2 positions that I need to fill out of motor vehicle highway fund, not general budget. I feel like I need to say that. They're truck driver positions, both in District 3, so that puts them 2 guys short. One guy just put in his 2-week notice, so I'm trying to get in front of that, start that process, and I had to terminate a guy yesterday, so trying to get that guy replaced too.
Have you started the advertising process?
I have not,
Have
so
not.
just
It
getting.
just kind of come out of the blue, didn't it?
Time out blue, was about filled up, and now we're not again. So I do have a new guy starting on Monday that I got approved for before, so that'll help out some. So I might have to move some folks around to get District 3 filled up a little bit, but we'll make it work. We always do.
And both of these come out of MVH, which is not general
MVH, which will
fund.
be the starting rate for truck driver and the salary ordinance.
Was both of these CDL drivers?
All of our positions are CDL, Class B, no restriction.
Okay. Okay. Any questions for Brian? Okay, we'll entertain a motion on that one. And this will be for times 2. correct?
Times 2.
Times 2.
Second.
Okay, Janie's first, Julie's second. Any further questions for Brian? All in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? You got 2.
Thank you. And just a quick shout out to the Sheriff Dispatch, one for keeping me awake all night last night, but they did a great job. They were on top of it, and one deputy helped out, had his chainsaw, so
Wow.
appreciate it. So,
Okay. Thank you. Okay, I got Missy Craig / Rich Kazmall. We got Missy. Okay. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good.
So we actually just want to use, we have 35,000 sitting in one line item, and we would like to use that for our mileage, for our CASA contracted workers.
I'm digging, I'm behind on my paperwork. I've read it, but that is a, yeah,
It was a wellness grant, so it's a grant.
wellness grant, yes.
Yes.
New motion.
Motion.
I'll make a motion to allow you to use the 35,000 for mileage for contract costs.
Okay, got a first out of Julie. Do I have a second?
Second.
I heard Janie first.
Phil probably was right in there.
Okay, we're gonna give it to Janie on the second. Any further questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Paula Edwards. How's Paula?
You all bring your paperwork with you instead of having to go back to get it, so that you're not here on time. So, anyway. I'm here to ask to budget some leftover money in a grant that's we're no longer getting any additional funding for. We chose the HFI grant, Health First Indiana, as it's not a grant, it's an appropriation. The appropriation from the state fund instead of this and another one that were much, much smaller. And so anyway, there's $5,178 left in it. I wanted to put all of that into an equipment line because we've got some laptops for our off-site clinics that are getting older and needing to be replaced. We may not use it all this year, but it's in a line where we can utilize it if we need it.
Okay. Any questions for Paula? Okay, I'll entertain a motion on this one for the 5,178, correct?
Yes.
Move to approve.
Dustin's got a first.
Second.
Phil's got a second. Any further questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Chad, big guy, you're up.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Our juvenile community corrections grant, we were awarded $66,226. It runs on the fiscal year starting July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027. It funds our case manager for our problem-solving court and our staff that supervise the juvenile road crew program.
And the total budget on that one is 66,000, correct?
$66,226.
Yes. Okay. Any questions for Chad?
How does that compare year to year?
We were getting $57,226 year in, year out. Last year we were awarded $74,000, and then this year we're down to 66. We've come to that impasse with the grant money where it's starting to fluctuate, so it's getting more and more competitive.
There's no further questions. We'll entertain a motion for this one, for the 66,226. Janie's got a first.
I'll second.
Larry's got a second. Any further questions or comments for Chad? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Chad, that one is passed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Jeff Quile. It's a good thing your meeting got canceled, or you'd have 12 minutes.
Well, we'll see if we can make that happen. So,
Yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Jeff Quile. I'm with the Lawrence County Redevelopment Commission. I'm here to present the 2025 Annual TIF Management Reports. You've got a copy of this report, I believe, in your packets. There are several pages up front with some background information on what our reporting requirements are, a list of our members, explanation of what our TIF district is. Pages 7 and 8 really have the meat of the report, and that's what I'm going to focus on. That's where the money numbers are. So what this indicates is at the end of the year, at the end of 2025, the Redevelopment Commission had a little over $1.8 million. That includes money that has been allocated towards paying interest on the construction loan for the Shell building in Mitchell, as well as funds from the Dunn Hospital Fund and TIF revenue that was received but not spent in 2025. During 2025, we spent about $47,000 on legal and professional advisory services. We spent $25,000 as part of an obligation we undertook to help the Marion Township Fire Department with their equipment needs because the Heidelberg plant brought in a higher level of materials that need to be handled and need to be dealt with appropriately for public service. And then we also paid $268,000 roughly on loan interest on the build, operate, transfer loan. By paying that interest, we avoided having to capitalize the interest and pay it higher later. So that's kind of what's in the report. We did save $120,000 on the construction of the Shell building down in Mitchell. Came in slightly below what was budgeted. There was less rock found on the site than was expected, so we didn't have as much prep work to do, and we cut out some painting on the exterior too. So So far this year, we spent about $120,000 helping the county with general fund expenses, and we've got about another $80,000 that we've obligated to help the county general fund with this year as well. So that's the quick and simple report, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Now, the bond issue, that's progressed.
Bond issue is progressing.
Actually, it turned out better than we anticipated. I think.
Yes, interest rate on the proposed bond came in about 5.2% interest, which is pretty good on a taxable bond. So we anticipate we'll be able to pay the bond off within 7 years. 5 million bond in 7 years, I feel like is a good accomplishment for our finances. So.
Jeff, have you had any interest lately on the building, or?
We haven't heard of any active leads right now. We did last month or maybe February. We actually did sign a contract with Cushman & Wakefield. They're nationwide, actually a global real estate services firm. So they're going to help us market the building. And I've got a call with our Cushman representative, Kevin Archer, next Wednesday morning to get a report from him. So, good question.
How did that do down there? Which I haven't been down there today with the flooding down there. Have you been down?
I didn't go by there today.
I wondered.
It's got to be wet, but.
It's got to be wet. Okay. Any questions for Jeff?
Appreciate the
Very
report.
good. Very good.
I appreciate your time, appreciate your support for our efforts, and thanks for what you do.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Next on the agenda, Brad Booth.
They're my situations.
Okay, so you're good.
Good.
Okay, thank you. Okay, items for consideration, I have none. Martha? I have none on that one. Okay, department reports. Prosecutor Sam Arp.
Anytime I want to catch a cold, I just gotta come up here and talk to you guys, and I can never fail.
And then we get a call.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Just this one.
Trying to give you guys some of that extra vacation time. I was planning on asking for something tonight, but I believe the wires got crossed where we didn't get it to you early enough. So I guess I'll be doing a two-step request. I'll lay the foundation tonight, and next month I'll come in here and ask for the official part of it then. So I was informed by IT, it was about a month or so ago, that we're basically out of storage. So back in 2019, I bought two 30-terabyte servers for all of our discovery, the way we do evidence. And since then, Indiana's made the law where they require all the body camera footage for officers, so on and so forth. It's a lot of body camera that just keeps going and adding up. And I think I was told it was either 56 or 59 terabytes is where we were at on that. And it's not going to get any better. It's just going to continuously keep climbing. And we've run into some issues as well within the office of being so lean staff that we just don't have time to dedicate to finding every little piece of discovery that in the ways that the departments are turning them into us. Because every department that we have, police department wise, turns in evidence in a different way. And I've looked at this system for about 3 years now, but I've always kicked it to the curb just because the price was so expensive that there's just no way that I was ever going to be able to afford it or justify it. And the Indiana Prosecuting Attorneys Council this year entered into an agreement with the Axon platform to where basically it's going to give us about a $26,000 a year reduction off of the price on it. So it makes it more possible for us to get into that. With that being said, I've got the whole staff trained on it, got their feedback on it, talked to a couple of the department heads as well, got their feedback on it, and I think it's going to eliminate the need for me coming in here and saying I've got to have 2, maybe 3 more people to handle this, because we're starting to lose important parts of cases because we're just not on top of the discovery like we need to be. And there's things that are getting biased and it gets excluded, and now we can't go to trial with that particular evidence. Additionally, it's going to give us the capabilities to, when we do go to trial, to edit audio and video recordings. That way we can get those in as a piece of evidence as well. And it's going to help streamline preparing for cases, doing word searches, so on and so forth. But it's just
as much as I hate to use this word, a robust a way to handle that evidence. So the quote that I got was going to be for the remainder of the year, starting June 1st to the end of the year, was, get my notepad out here, $9,387 if I remember right. $9,387, I did remember that right.
5,000?
9,000. Now, we have the money in infraction deferral to cover that right now, which, to remind everyone and our listeners at home, that's all self-driven funds that didn't come out of any taxpayer money. And the infraction deferral system program had been down over the last few years with COVID and so on and so forth, so we haven't budgeted hardly anything in that particular account. So it's built up to $23,084. So we have some wiggle room in there, and hopefully we can get that built up enough to where we can continue on and pay for it next year. But what I'll be doing is coming back in next month and I also need to meet with the commissioner since there's a contract involved in it to ask about that. Only thing else additionally is just found out that I won some kind of award with the United States Attorney General's office for a child molest case that we'd worked. I like to take credit for it, but it's always the police officers that do all the work. I just happen to be the guy that's sitting there smiling and getting something shiny for it. But that'll happen May 15th. I'm not for sure what it is, but I got to go to Indianapolis to pick it up. So,
Wow.
Other than that, thank you guys.
Well, I got a question.
I have a question too.
Yeah, don't run off. Go ahead.
Okay. Tell me that amount that you need again. 5,387, did I understand that?
No, it's 9.
9.
Still, it's,
I thought he said
it's
5
a lot
too.
less than what I would have expected. I thought you said they found a way to give you, were we talking about the same thing, a $26,000 reduction?
Yes. So when that program first come out, they go by the amount of employees that you have in your office. It's a really weird allotment with how they figure that out, but they can kind of curtail with their system how much storage they think you're going to use. They have unlimited storage, which is very important. I think they said that they have more storage than Amazon and Netflix combined currently, plus they have all the cybersecurity built in with it, which is also a huge concern with us. But when it was first proposed to me, it was over $50,000 a year. And next year would be, for the full year would be, I believe, just a hair over $18,000. And they stair-step that up just a little bit every year.
One other question. Does this thing, you said every department reports to you differently.
Correct.
Will that help that?
Yes, that'll, so basically there will be, I guess, a cloud or a platform, or you'll have an address and you'll log on and it'll be like ExxonMobil evidence. And each individual officer with the departments will just upload their cases. Now, what that does, now the officers are putting them on USB or they're uploading them into the Spillman system if you're the sheriff's department. Well, then we have to then have somebody download those. And then when we discover them to everybody we discover them to, we have to re-upload those. So each case could potentially take, just for one video, it could take 2, 3, 4 hours every time we upload that. So you got one person touching that for 12 different hours just on that particular video. And there might be 6 videos, might be 7 videos in a case. So the amount of manpower hours that it's going to save you is just unmeasurable, just in that aspect. And the bigger thing that I tend to get chewed out by the judges for is that, say you got a detective that works on a case, and we'll use the sheriff's department, for example. They have the Spillman system. Well, if they upload a document 4, 5, 6 months later into the Spillman system, I'm not going to know that. I don't sit there and look at Spillman every day, all day long to see what's uploaded. So that gets uploaded, we miss it. And then all of a sudden it comes out later and it gets excluded. I get yelled at by the judge and kind of chewed on a little bit. Whereas when you go through the ExxonMobil system, it'll actually highlight that in red and say, hey, you got something here you got to look at that's new.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that excites me the most, other than the editing for trial.
Thank you.
I have a question. So would the sheriff's department, the Bedford Police Department, the public defenders, now will they all have to be on board? If so, everybody has to be under this one program or compatible?
They will all need to submit that, yes. They'll have to upload their evidence into that, yes.
Okay, but they don't necessarily have to have the same program?
It won't cost them any money.
Yeah. That's what I was getting at.
Yes.
I was
And then, you know, additionally, we have, you know, we'll get, you know, probably once a month, we'll get 1 or 2 attorneys out of Indianapolis that just don't come down here and play that often, so they don't have our IT stuff set up to where we can share information with them, and that gets to be a big burden where they have to mail us down a hard drive. We have to they manually put it on there, mail it back up. Hopefully the mail doesn't destroy it. This way, once again, you just email them the link. We check boxes on our end. This is what you get to see, and then they get their discovery. So it covers that and makes it a lot more streamlined for everybody that's involved.
So is there a delay between the police departments in getting this to you, or where does the problem come in on that? I'm just curious.
Like currently?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the delay that happens with us is that, so Bedford Police Department, for example, they give us USBs, so we then have to take USBs, build a case file, upload all that in, and then if you get, Mitchell's kind of hit and miss, they do it a couple different ways. Sheriff's Department, they have their own system. Spillman, we have to download that. So with our IT service time, we have to download those videos, and then we got to upload them back into the system to put them in there. So we're just really redundantly touching everything 2 or 3 times.
So what's the state use?
The state uses this program.
They use
Exxon.
this program.
Mhm.
Okay.
Do all the people who are going to be sending you their information via that app, are they on board?
So far, nobody's told me no, but they don't really have a choice either.
Okay.
If they want to prosecute a case in Lawrence County, that's what it's going to be.
Okay. Any further questions for the prosecutor? Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Sheriff Greg Day.
Good evening.
Evening.
Just before you start, I heard a lot of really good comments the other night, and I'm sure you know what I'm going to talk about. The little 5.
Oh, yeah, Saturday night.
You guys did an awesome job.
Well, thank you. We were, we
And that
prepared
was
for it. We knew it was coming, so we were ready.
A whole lot of people that lives up in that area.
Yeah, we got a lot of good feedback from how we
Yeah.
did that, so.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Tonight, just got a couple quick things. Jail population, usually start off with that. I had 68 total inmates when I walked out a while ago. 53 males, 15 females. We're holding 7 for DOC. We have 0 parole holds and 0 level 6 felons that are serving their time here right now. Second thing, nothing earth shattering. I did provide you all with the first quarter commissary report that we're required to by law. If anybody has any questions, I can answer them, but there's nothing.
So you pay, let me rephrase that, oxygen rental. Explain that to me, please.
So some of our inmates aren't always in the best of health, and they have to be on oxygen or have oxygen tanks. So we are required to rent that from Crowders to come in and make sure they have their oxygen tanks and stuff.
Thank you.
Any questions for Sheriff on the commissary report?
I noticed there were a lot more disbursements than the income. Is this a result of the changes you talked about?
That's Damon.
So somewhat, really those are just really, actually no, not on this report here. A lot of this has to do with at the first of the year, there's a lot of our big expenses that come out of here. Like the cars that we bought that came in, then we have to outfit those, or we pay things like that. And some of our software that we pay out of there, we pay it in January. So we get in a big hole early and then we kind of build it back up. So this year, building it back up will be a lot slower because of the changes that I talked about. But that is why it is that way, so.
I always ask you about the e-cigs, but the e-cigs are way down on this one
It
compared
was
to.
right next to the oxygen.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, the fewer inmates we have, the less money I bring into on commissary, so.
Okay, no questions on that one? And you've also got a hire request.
Yep, hiring request. We had a dispatcher just recently leave, so I'm just requesting to be able to hire that replacement. This is
And
not
that brings you back to full staff.
That would be fully staffed. Yeah, it's not a new position. It's an existing position. I just need some money to hire somebody to fill it.
Okay. Any questions for Greg on the dispatcher position? Okay, I'll entertain a motion on the hire for the dispatcher position.
I'll make a motion.
Larry made it first. Janie made a second. Any further questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're good to go.
Okay, that's all we got. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we got one left. Chief Public Defender, Tim Sled.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Just about every year, the question comes up as to what do we do and how much do we cost and how does that compare to everybody? And so I generally every year come and explain what services the Public Defender's Agency provides. This is going to be a brief explanation of that. One of the things that I wanted to do, and I should have handed these out beforehand, but the sources of the information that you get are important that the public gets to, because sometimes misinformation, bad information gets out there.
Thank you.
And it happened recently, and I wanted to cover a little bit about what the agency costs, how that compares. Looking at expenditures, because I think that's what you ultimately get to, is when you look at expenditures, that tells you what something costs the county. But first page of the handout is getting your information from social media can be a dangerous thing. You know, I used to go to the barber shop and there'd be a liar's bench out in front of the barber shop, or ladies might go to tea and gossip what happened at tea, or quilting circles or whatnot. Social media's taken that over. That's where people can be anonymous and spread information and get clicks and drive you to paywall sites and do all those sorts of things with inflammatory language or partial information. And you know, you got to be careful of the source of the information that you're getting. And I don't care what people put on Facebook or on internet or social media. I care what you guys, where you guys get your information and how you gather your information, because it's important when you're making these decisions. You turn to page 3, how to spot fake news. Well, if there's no byline, then there's no accountability. Who's providing this information to you? Is it one-sided? Did the person make an attempt to interview the sources of information or stakeholders? Is it clickbait with sharp headlines, accusations, and pass-throughs to paywalls? Think about those things when you're reading these sources of information and being told these sources of information. And what should you do when you spot fake news? Do the work they should have done. Investigate it. Educate others on the topic and the source, and resist the urge to go to war in the comments section, because it feeds the beast for clickbait. Again, you are who matters, so let's get it right. So I want to nix a narrative that's out there. I want to nix it with accurate facts. And a fair comparison of two different agencies requires 3 things: that we look at all the expenditures that are accounted for, that we take into account all personnel and have them accounted for, and then measure the responsibilities. The fake news narrative that may be out there, is out there, only gathered partial budget data, excluded funds that are being expended for the actual operating costs being paid by the state, ignored substantial state reimbursements for the Public Defender Agency, and failed to compare the scope of legal obligations that the Public Defender's Agency engages in. And I put it in a graphic on page 5 so that you can see. So there was an article out there that said the public defenders have more money than the prosecutor's office does. And if you look at one budget, the general fund budget, that might seem true if you compared just those 2 things. But you got to look at what the operating costs of both agencies are, and the way to do that is really easily. You pull the 2025 budgets and you look at expenditures. Total expenditures are outlined on this sheet, and you'll see that if you just look at total expenditures and you add in the state paid salaries, then the total operating cost for the 2 agencies or 2 departments is listed right there. Well, fortunately, the state does contribute to both departments. The elected prosecutor and the chief deputy prosecutor are paid for by the state. The chief public defender and chief deputy public defender aren't, but the Public Defender's Agency gets the reimbursement that was talked about in the article and that we talk about in here, because we talk about those reimbursements to the tune of $449,000 in reimbursements. You subtract all of that out, you get the net operating costs. That's as close to apples as we can get when it comes to what does an agency cost the county as you look at expenditures. And you'll see that unlike the article suggests, the Public Defender's Agency is not costing more than the prosecutor's office. If you turn to page 6, you'll see, and I know the Public Defender's Office has been referred to as the largest law firm in the county, and that just, again, isn't a truth. It's something that you can use some simple math to figure out it's not true. There are 7 full-time prosecutors, 2 are state funded, and there are 6.5 public defenders. So 6 full-time, 1 part-time. By my best count, I got that there are 8 support staff for the prosecutor's office. That includes 4D. And then there are 5 public defender support staff. Look, also I think it's important to know is ability to decline cases. And the prosecutor's office decides what charges to charge, what gets filed. They largely set the table on what's the caseload. Now, crime is crime, and they have to charge crimes that are out there, but they have the ability to decline cases. Public defender is responsive in its nature. We just respond to what's out there. Turning to page 7, the facts about the tasks. This is one that every year we go over because there's a lay misconception that we all do the same thing, that public defenders and prosecutors do exactly the same thing. We do a lot of the same stuff, but then there's stuff that we do that they don't do, and then there's stuff that they do that we don't do as public defenders. For example, on the criminal docket, the prosecutor gets 100% of the criminal docket. Okay? Public defenders only get the cases that are appointed to the public defender. That's roughly about 75%. The other people either go pro se or hire lawyers, and the prosecutor still has to deal with those cases. So there's a disparity toward the prosecutors. Juvenile delinquency and juvenile status cases, those are handled in circuit court. Public defenders do those as well. Infractions, 100% prosecutor, none public defender. Okay, so when the prosecutors have to take a traffic ticket and do a trial on a traffic ticket or process that through, there's not a public defender. You don't have a right to a lawyer for a traffic ticket. Child support enforcement, prosecutors prosecute child support enforcement. Sometimes and often public defenders get involved in child support enforcement cases as well. Those are in circuit court. Things that we do that the prosecutor's office doesn't do are chins and termination of parental rights cases. There is the exception that there could be a thing called a chin 6 that gets filed by the prosecutor's office, but there's only been maybe a handful, 2 to 3 since I've been here since 2022. We do all of our appeals, or the defense bar is responsible for doing its appeals. The prosecutor has the attorney general to do the appeals for them. So that's where transcripts come in, whether it's a chins, a TPR, a direct appeal after a jury case, an interlocutory appeal, transcripts, time. It's a whole nother case that has to be filed. That's handled by the Public Defender's Agency. The prosecutor's office doesn't do those. Contested adoptions, prosecutor's office doesn't do those. Contempt hearings are done between the court and a person that's being found in contempt or being held in contempt. They get a defense lawyer. The prosecutor doesn't do those. And mental health commitments. The only time that there's a red flag law that can also be seen as a mental health commitment, prosecutors do those. They actually prosecute those. But a general mental health commitment, somebody's been involuntarily committed, they don't have prosecutors for that. That's the hospital and whoever's seeking to have the person held, and they're entitled to a public defender. You know, and it goes back to the why do we even have a public defender or defense lawyers? And the easy answer is you can look at this in two ways. There are the moral reasons why. A society is judged by how it treats the least among it, not the best among it. You know, it goes back as far as in the Proverbs they talk about defending the destitute, the poor, and the needy, defend the rights. And in the New Testament, in Matthew, they talk about what Jesus said was, when I was in jail, did you come and visit me? But then you can look at it secularly too. Why do we do this? Specifically, if you believe in law and order, then you believe what our constitutions call for. Constitutions plural, Indiana and the federal. They're not the same. They are separate and distinct constitutions, but they both found that there's a right to counsel, a right for somebody to be heard, a right to have somebody have a lawyer to help them be heard. Ultimately, it makes a lot of sense. If you're a conservative, then you want to conserve people's rights against the government. And so we are reacting to accusations by a government against citizens. We do not pick the charges. We don't pick the cases that are filed, and we don't pick the people that are accused, but we choose to represent them. All of this quick presentation was to show is that I want you to be careful when you hear things and check the facts. Check the facts. There's a lot of talk about transparency, but you can look in a window and not see what's going on in a room. You may actually have to get into the room. You may actually have to look at what is set on the table, and you can get that data, but you need to get all of the data. You need to look at the expenditures to be able to know what the costs are to the county. Commissioner McKnight was asking me beforehand how the misdemeanor reimbursement project's going, because that's a new thing that we started last year. We received, in 2025, we received a $25,000 reimbursement to the general fund for that involvement that we hadn't gotten before. This year, it's looking like, because of going to be doing a full year, it's going to be right around 100,000 total additional reimbursed to the general fund. On top of that, guesstimating somewhere in the 400 or 450 range reimbursement that we got last year. The other thing is that I was talking to Commissioner McKnight about, and it's very important, is the impact of having the jail count low. Yeah, at the Sheriff's Commissary Fund won't get as high, but ultimately that's what we want. We want those housed at the jail to be those who need to be housed at the jail, and those that can be processed through as quickly as possible. And what Mr. Arp was asking for tonight is largely an attempt to help process cases through faster. If he can get the evidence and get the evidence in the hands of the defense lawyers in a package, complete and full, cases can be resolved quicker. What he was talking about of not having evidence late in the game and the case is getting ready for trial and it gets excluded, then that means somebody is either sat in jail for longer or their case didn't get resolved for longer, and it drags the system. It takes each one of the spokes on the wheel to hold it together. It takes the courts being attentive to who's over there and how we can get those going. It takes the prosecutor's office being attentive to getting their evidence and getting it out to the defense lawyers. It takes the defense lawyers being attentive to getting over to the jail, getting hearings set so that we can keep the jail count low, to keep our bond rating low for insurance purposes. And that takes everybody. And you know, I think that there have been evidence issues, and Axon is, which is what he was pitching. I know other counties that have used it and like it. I know the state police use it, so we're familiar with how the package works. And if everybody can get on board and it can be uploaded, as I think he estimates that it could expedite cases getting resolved versus the sort of the legal process is we stand here saying, where's our evidence? They give us some evidence. We look through it and we're like, where's the rest of our evidence? 30 days later, we're like, where's the rest of it? So we send them a letter saying, give us the rest of it. They then go get it, but now we're 45, 60 days. And if we can get it the faster, then that'll help things. But I know they work diligently to do that. We have this form letter called a 26F letter that we send out to the prosecutor saying, hey, we're missing some evidence that we think we should see here. Typically, that resolves all the discovery disputes, because then they're able to hunt it down. Sometimes we have to file a motion to compel because they didn't get it to us in time, but then almost 100% of the time it gets in. So everybody's working diligently to keep that down, but it does take all the spokes. But I wanted to address what I think to be are the sources of our information these days. Back in the old day, we had newspapers that somebody had to put a byline if they're going to write an article. You'd know who wrote it. Now we get our information in different ways. You got to check its reliability.
You've got, on that reimbursement, you've got the misdemeanors, that goes directly back to the general fund.
It does. It'll be no different than it goes the exact same place that our normal reimbursement does. Now, the 4E reimbursement goes into a dedicated fund.
The CHINs. Yeah.
And then our supplemental fund, which is the only other fund. So we have our general fund, the 4E fund, which is the CHINs fund, and our supplemental fund. Supplemental fund is user fee and has big restrictions on it being used for what. But 4E we use for our the CHINs cases. That
only.
Fluctuates, but
CHINs only.
CHINs only. CHINs TP, termination of parental
Or
rights.
TPRs.
Yeah, appeals for that.
Okay. Very good. Anybody got any questions for Tim?
Nope.
No? Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Very much. I think, Martha, you said there is no court orders? Any unfinished old business? Lit? Amy, have you got anything on the lit?
I would say no report at this time.
Nothing at this time. Okay. Okay, then I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Janie?
Second.
Dustin, second. All in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you.